Let's roll. Let's do it. What's up, boys? My name is Jake Taylor. This is my boy Corey Johns. I need to come up with a name for this, so I don't know what we're going to call this. But here's the next episode of...
No soliciting.
Maybe we just call it No Soliciting.
I think that's a fire name.
All right. Here's the next episode in No Soliciting. Corey, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, man. Let me think. I mean, I've wanted to ask you this for actually a while, so I mean, I guess this is a good environment to do so. But like, I know you're really, really good at networking. You have a vast amount of experience, like being able to position yourself properly. And I wanted to know like what is the best way to network with like high net worth individuals and insert yourself in those kind of situations.
Totally. So there's kind of a couple routes that you can take. I'll start with a paid first, and then I'll explain how you can do it without spending a lot of money like I did. So a few things. So I've joined a bunch of different syndicates, masterminds, networking groups, different and in all different industries, and you pay to get in these rooms, and that is that you pay to meet these people, and as long as you're not a shitty person, you can build relationships with them. And people are in all kinds of different business ventures. You get different business and investment opportunities. You never know when you're going to need somebody, so it's always good to have them in your Rolodex. Like I know in Donald Trump's book, what is it, like The Art of the Deal? He says that he blocks out part of his day to just call people. Just say like, "Hey, what's up? Like, how are you? I hope everything's well." Just to cultivate that relationship. So, I've been able to network with a few 100 million plus net worth individuals, and then a few people in the 8 figures, and then a lot of people in the 9 figures, and then countless people making 6 figures, because it seems like 6 figures is the new average income here in the U.S. anyways. So it's not even that impressive, but. I'll start with the highest net worth individual I've ever met. I paid $20,000 to be in his networking circle. Super sick, because not only did I get to build a good relationship with him, but everybody else that's in that circle. It's not, not a lot of people are going to drop 20 grand to just like meet other people. And so I've met many multimillionaires in there, and formed great relationships with them. Now, some key tips in order to build these relationships: you have to understand that when you pay this money, you have to put in some work and some action. It doesn't just like, oh, I paid this money and now everybody's going to do everything that I want for me.
What?
Right? Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy,
Such an interesting idea. So I paid this money. Attended all the calls that we were on, attended all the meetup events, made sure that, I was super respectful when I talked to them, always adding value, right? A lot of people, we'll save that for a little bit later. I'll tell you what to do. You want to always add as much value as possible. So this starts with doing your homework. So some people might think this is a little bit weird and maybe even like stalkerish, but you want to understand these people's lives, what kind of business and industry they're in, what their hobbies are, what their family's like, what their background is, so that you can relate to them. And here's another little tip: you can give them gifts, right? Because the best gifts that you get are personalized to you. And so, like I remember even one time, I think it was for a guy that he introduced me to. I sent him, he had this yellow SVJ Lamborghini, and I sent it to him in a little minifigure, and it was like $50. And so I'd already been to this guy's house.
Fire.
He actually lived across the street from him, multi-million-dollar mansion, and I sent it to his address, and bam, just like that, great relationship, right? Because, it's super personalized. Who else is going to do that? So make sure you do your research on these people, and, you can relate to them, congratulate them when they hit certain milestones. But it was able to just provide a lot of value, and make sure you don't ask dumb fucking questions, because a lot of people, when they get in these groups, will just try and, maybe it's not even the fact that they're asking dumb questions, but they just try to talk because they think conversation is what is going to make them buddies. And you have to understand, like, if somebody's worth, 9 figures, they're probably not going to want to bullshit about, oh, did you see the game yesterday? Or like, what do you think about this? Or like, why did you, get yellow carpet, or why'd you pick this? Like, you want to, their minds are on a completely different wavelength. And so they're probably going to be talking about business all the time. And if they're not, cool, like go with the flow. But don't talk about dumb shit around them. They value their time, and that's why they're worth as much as they are. So do your homework on these people. If you want to get around them, like I said, pay for whatever they have. Generally, if they're worth a lot of money, they're selling something, they own a business, they've got a big social media following. People, it's very hard to find these high net worth people without that. Like, it's very
Right.
I
How'd they
mean,
make their
like
money?
what hermit crab of a multimillionaire do you know? Like, you don't know them because they're a hermit crab, right? So you know them for some reason. Buy whatever they're selling just to get in the room, and be a part of what they're doing. Now, you can do this without money, and that's how I started. I was very broke, and I was still able to network with high net worth individuals. So when I was 18, I moved from Kansas to California and joined a solar company. And at the time, the CEO of the solar company, hadn't necessarily made it big yet, but now he has. He's worth a lot of money. So are all the founders in the company. And I've met, with other CEOs of different solar companies, but specifically in mine, right? I had no money, and it's like, okay, I see the leaders of this organization. How can I get them to notice me, and how can I build relationships with them? Well, sell their product. If you can't buy their product, sell it for them, right? And so I became a top producer. Couple months in a row, I actually won a competition. My very first month inside of the business, I was able to get the first sale for a new feature that rolled out. And so you get noticed when you do these things, of course, right? So getting noticed, and then using that leverage to, spark up conversation with them. And again, not asking dumb fucking questions, but just continue to work and put the nose to the grindstone. And you could do that for free, right? So, like, if you want to go meet Patrick Bet David, go work for his insurance firm. I think he just sold it off, but maybe Valuetainment. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever venture that they're in, if you can't buy their programs, go work for them. And how many people do you know would be willing to buy a plane ticket out to go wherever this person is, and like try and meet them in person, and get a job offer? It's very few, right? So a lot of people just wouldn't put in the action to do that. So the competition, I would say, is slim, honestly, apart from their Instagram DMs being flooded. If you've just put yourself in a different lane, then you're golden. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. Like I said, buy their programs. If you can't buy them, sell them. And it's pretty much that easy. As long as you can provide value, they're gonna want, like, they want to teach too. Like, people who make a lot of money want to teach others how to do it. So as long as they're cool, they're gonna want to talk to you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, trying to get into the door without having to fork up. I mean, what did you say? You invested $20,000.
Yeah, in that one, 20 grand.
Like, that's a lot of money to a lot of people. So it's very valuable for you to kind of get into detail about how to do it without having to, fork up that kind of cash. Like, sell their product. Genius. Just get into their ecosystem, right? But like,
Yeah.
for those opportunities that do cost money to gain access to, obviously this world isn't free, right? Like, $20,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Why would that be justified to spend that kind of money if, like, you're not in a position to where that's like easy for you?
Yeah. So I mean, if it's not, if it's like, if you're saying if 20 grand is your entire net worth, how could you justify spending that?
I don't know about entire, but a lot
Yeah.
of people, don't have just 20 grand lying around,
Yeah, totally. Honestly, it's because I had a bunch of people hit me up, and they're like, yo, I want to join this networking program too. Is it worth it? And my God, that is my least favorite question on the face of this earth. Is it worth
Is
it?
it worth it?
That makes me want to rip my eyeballs out and stomp on them. It just makes me want to block that person, honestly, because what that is a scarcity mindset. They're going into it thinking, oh my gosh, if I spend this money, I need to get it back. And so you're coming in from a place of lack and not giving value. Like I said, you give. They're going to be trying to take. And then you're a leech. Don't fucking do that. That's literally, this is it right here. I'm going to tell you what not to do when trying to network with individuals. Do not leech from them. Yes, you spent money, and yes, it might be a lot of money for you, It's not a lot of money for them. And if the deal is, hey, look, you're going to join this to network, do not be a leech and say, oh, well, I joined this and now I want to ask you. Now I get access to you for all of my questions. That's very selfish, and it's very entitled. And so even though, yes, I understand it is a transaction. You paid money and you want to get your money out of it and they want you to get your money back. Imagine it's just a donation. I'm just donating this money and maybe I'll get to be friends with this person. Because guess what? Once you become friends with this person, you also become friends with everyone that person is friends with. If they trust you, then they're going to trust you, because when they say, hey, like the guy, with the highest net worth that I know, he's got a lawyer for, his lawyer is also Jay-Z's lawyer. Also,
Really?
I think it's Rihanna and Justin Bieber's lawyer. He's got other superstar athletes. Like, if he trusts me, he knows if I ever needed legal help, he could send me to that guy and I wouldn't embarrass him for it, right? Because he trusts me now. So it's a very much long-term game. And so I would say if you only have 30 grand and you have a 20K ticket, maybe don't do it. I had a little bit more money in the six figures range, so it wasn't a huge part of my income at the time. There have been other events that I've paid for, like sales training. That's a little different. That's just personal development that I might have paid for when it was a bigger proportion of my net worth, because that's like an immediate return on investment. If you go to a sales training course, they're going to teach you what you need for sales, and then you can go and immediately apply this.
Right.
Building relationships is lifetime. Like, this guy I know, unless I do something to fuck it up, like he's always going to have my back. I'm always going to have his. And I can contact him whenever I need, and he checks up on me just out of the blue. We're buddies now. So it's very long term. So I would say if it is a larger portion of your income, probably don't do it just yet, because it is a long term game for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people think of it. Like, a lot of people look at investing just, how can I get my money back? Like you were saying earlier, there's so much more ROI to be had than just getting your money back. If you open up the opportunity to get in the room, then you may find an opportunity that will get you your money back, or you might build a relationship that will get you the equivalent of your money back, like get out of legal trouble.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So it's like there's so many other approaches to take than just like, how can I get $20,001 from this $20,000 investment? Like, it's a very limited and scarcity mindset.
And guess what? You probably could get your $20,001 back, but guess what? That's all you're getting, because nobody's going to want to talk to you ever again, because like, oh, this dude is not fun to be around, right? And I love that you talk about that, the relationship versus the money. One thing that I love talking about is relationship capital, because you can't put a dollar sign to that, right? Like, how much would I pay to like sell my relationship with him? Like, I can't put a number on that, right? What if he puts me on in 10 years in the future in a $50 million real estate deal? Like, how would I put a number on that right now? So you can't, it's you first, when you get into business, you do focus on capital and just cash. And then as you progress, you really focus on that relationship capital. And that's the reason why, I've stuck in the same solar company for the last 5 years, because I could go make money somewhere else, probably a little bit more money, but there's a great concept. I could make another video on this, on how your lifestyle changes according to the amount of money you make, and there's certain amounts and where your lifestyle changes. I wouldn't get a lifestyle change, but I would forego and I would destroy all of my relationship capital for a little bit more money.
Right.
Why would I do that? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And so some people are just so short-minded, and they just want to focus on that return on investment, which is you're just a leech. You're selfish. You're entitled. And if you have to ask yourself, is it worth it to join this networking group? Don't do it. Please don't do it. Go in, like I said, willing to lose that money. Donation. Know that it's going to be a super long-term play. Like I've met a bunch of people in real estate, in VC, in all different industries, cannabis, jewelers and watches and cars and sales and health, biohack, like fitness, all of these different industries that I can now call on. Yo, bro, I'm having this problem. How can you help me out here? And so that, yeah, that's priceless.
Awesome.
So just first, like very, very basic, learn how to communicate, learn sales, and learn how to be personable. And then you can build these relationships with people, and you never know when it's going to come in handy. So that relationship capital is worth more than its weight in gold, 100%.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you putting that into perspective, because no one really thinks about the intricacies of like social interaction like that. They just look at the opportunity and they're like, is this good? Is this bad? Is it worth it?
Yeah,
Right?
totally.
Is it worth it?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So I mean, even if like you don't have to only hone in people that have a lot of money right now, because there might be somebody that has the same amount of money as you right now who will have a lot more money than you. So I treat everybody with the same amount of respect, and not in I've almost thought about this not in like a manipulative way, but you never know when you're going to need somebody.
Chessboard positioning.
Exactly.
In the
So
game
it's like,
of life.
I'm never going to burn a bridge.
Imagine the people who have been friends with Trump forever, and then this guy turns from a TV personality and famous entrepreneur to the president of the United States.
One of the most powerful men in the
How
entire
much
world.
money was made by leveraging that relationship?
Exactly. So if maybe somebody says something you don't like, bite your tongue. There's why would you burn that bridge? You never know when you're going to have to call on somebody in the future. And it's not manipulative. It's not a fake relationship. It's just, why would you hurt that for no reason because of your ego? So
Fire.
I'll bite my tongue whenever I need to make sure that I can maintain relationships for whenever I need to call on them.
Fire. No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I super appreciate that answer. Of
course.
I know
Cool.
a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from that. So.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment here or go to my Instagram, DM me. It's at itsjake.t, itsjake.t. And Corey, where can they find you?
Instagram, best place, Corey_JNS, Corey_JNS. And that's me. My DMs are always open. I'm also on YouTube as well, same handle. So
Cool. And we'll have a little sneak peek for you guys coming soon. Shout out my Lifestyle Ascension members, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.